Hey guys, Scott Toy Guru Neitlich for Spector Creative here. I want to talk today about a concept of after the fact toys. I don't know if that's an official term. I don't know if I made that up. I think I made that up. But it very accurately describes two types of action figures out there. So, what do I mean by this? Well, toys are developed years in advance, especially when they're tied to content, which drives 95% of product lines these days. I mean, the days of a line launching without entertainment like Masters of the Universe did in 82 are long gone. Everything, and everybody wants a toy line now. So I've talked a lot in videos about how, for a production standpoint, the toy company starts looking at a property about 3 years before release date, reading the script, looking to make sure it has toyetic qualities, or, meaning things in the movie that will translate to toys, driving fast cars, spaceships, lasers, giant monsters, fluffy sidekicks, that kind of thing. And then development starts, and development is done based on the script, not based on the movie, because obviously the movie isn't around yet. So, a great example of this is the classic Kenner Cantina aliens, right? Who don't look like their movie counterparts, especially Snaggletooth, who wasn't tall and wasn't wearing blue. And this still happens today. I've shown this same image from the Green Lantern movie of Stell, who was a character we did in the Ryan Reynolds film line, but the final version wound up looking very different. And in fact, we even planned a figure of that in the second wave to be movie accurate because, robots sell, but unfortunately Green Lantern didn't sell, so we had to cancel and that wave never shipped. But yeah, again, you can see a figure develop based on the script and concept art versus after the fact. So the second Stell, which reflects how the movie actually looked, is an after the fact figure. All right, so let's take a step back and look at this amongst a broader sort of concept. And especially among, like, Star Wars is such a perfect example of this, because you have so many figures that are developed at script stage that wind up not being in the movie, but fans don't, unlike most brands that fade away, like a lot of movies don't get years and years of product. So they get one shot. Jurassic Park, the first movie, is a great example. That's the figures were sculpted based on artwork of the characters. They hadn't been cast yet. Alan Grant had not been cast yet. Ian Malcolm had not been cast yet, which is why the action figures don't look like the actors. They look like the concept art. Now, if Jurassic Park, if it had kept going for years and years, we would have gotten movie accurate versions. In fact, we did when they had, the 30th anniversary. And so with Star Wars, which, unlike the vintage Jurassic Park, which, well, I guess you could say it had, but it wasn't movie one, meaning ongoing. It had changed to, movie two or to Chaos Effect. But with Star Wars, we're still getting characters from A New Hope. Case in point, the Leia that was just shipped. It's one of the best figures they've ever done. And, this is a 40 years after the fact figure. Another better example of Star Wars might be Cobb Vanth, right? I recently did a review of him. So this is a figure that was in the new content, The Mandalorian, but it didn't come out until after the episode, meaning the episode was on about 2 years ago. So Hasbro's sitting there watching the episode, reading the script, said, "Ooh, let's make it. That would be a great figure, but we won't be able to get him out, for 2 years because of the production cycle." So versus the figures that do ship at the time, like the original Mando figures, they're slightly off model, or the colors don't quite match. It's not always as dramatic of a difference as, let's say, Walrus Man versus Ponda Baba, or Stell versus Stell, but whenever you see figures that come out at the time of a movie release, and Marvel Legends is also such a good example of this, like the Hulk Buster with Hulk coming out for Avengers 3. That scene got cut from the movie, but it was a huge action moment in the script. Toys were developed. This is a pre-movie toy. The post-movie toys don't have this moment. So, another sort of quasi but excellent example of toys that are developed at the time of a movie versus toys that are developed after the fact. Now, most of the time, that's sort of a reverse example where something existed in the script that was very toyetic that didn't wind up getting into the movie. But most of the time, the toys that are made after the fact are better. They're improvements. but it takes 2 years to get that improvement because the movie has to come out. The current product developed at script stage has to sell through and prove popular. And then a second wave or third wave or second, third year has to have demand. So then you start doing the main characters again, and now you're making them accurate to the show. Last example I'll throw out on this is the Justice League Unlimited line. When I was brand manager of that, I had the great opportunity to basically go through a lot of older releases and correct them so they were show accurate. So Booster Gold. The pre-version was gold, shiny for kids, based on the script. The version that we released on Matty Collector, maybe this was a retail figure, but that we released when I was a brand manager was accurate to the show. It was a very easy repaint, but meaning once you have that post content knowledge base, you can now apply that to the toy line and make improvements. I hope that explained why sometimes it takes 2 years to get an accurate figure based on content and why we don't get accurate figures when content is released. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a comment below. Let me know some other examples, some from your collection or ones that you've seen. Some funny ones I'd love. Thanks for watching, and most importantly, thanks for sharing this video. It's the best way to support the channel. I'll see you in the next video.